So I flew on a one-way flight to Europe for this guy. I'd known him for like 10 days. We had this whirlwind romance, met him at the farmer's market. It was a vibe. I get to Europe. I'm not in the city he's in yet, but I'm in Barcelona. I'm going to Berlin. He lives in Berlin. I've been invited to live in Berlin with him for the summer, and I'm all. So I'm in Barcelona. The night before my flight, he FaceTimes me. Hey, Soph, I met someone else. Don't come to Berlin.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, I have some absolute brain rot for you here today from modern women over on TikTok. You know, if you thought you were going to have a good day, you were going to load up this video and you were going to have a peaceful, nice, enjoyable watch. Well, let me just correct you real quick, because we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here, who is clinically insane. Let's jump into it, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's jump right into it.
When did men stop tricking on women? At what point did somebody sit you down and tell you that men are the prize? That men are supposed to get princess treatment? Who sat you down and told you that?
Okay, so first of all, nobody has really ever told men that we are the prize, except for a few people over on the internet. Okay, for the most part, society as a whole, you know, we as men, we are taught to pursue women, give them things, treat them like princesses, and so on, oftentimes to our own detriment, even if it's not a good idea for us to do that. And that's where we're at. A lot of men have actually realized that there is simply no point pursuing modern women. Okay, like a lot of guys have done this before. They've gone out, they've tried to do everything for women, and it just got them treated like trash. So eventually, after a bunch of times of doing that, a lot of men have said, hey, screw it. If the women want to, put in effort, they can, but otherwise, I'm completely done. And I don't blame men for doing this whatsoever. But this woman seems a bit pissed because she's no longer getting the quote-unquote princess treatment, right? She's no longer getting the chivalry from men that she thinks that she deserves as a woman.
Who sat you down and told you that? Who sat you down and told you that it's lame to want to provide for a woman? It's lame to want to please her. It's lame to want to marry a woman and pay bills in the household.
Oh no, guys, what happened? This woman's simps and orbiters are no longer sticking around and trying to pay her bills and crap. You see, here's the thing, guys. A lot of men, would like to get married. They would like to have a wife, settle down, have someone to look after, and so on. But the problem is, this is simply not worth doing for modern women. Right? Again, I've said this, okay? Dudes go out here, they provide for women, and you know what happens to those men? The good men, the guys who treat women the way they deserve to be treated, princess treatment. I mean, these are the guys out here getting cheated on in absolute droves, okay? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not that men have anything against, providing for women necessarily or getting married and stuff like this. It's just that it's not tenable, guys. And the women who expect this crap, by the way, holy hell, is it not worth it? It's just like men are expected to provide, we're expected to care for you, protect you, listen to all of your problems, work hard for you, and so on. Okay, put a roof over their heads. And for what? For some woman who rambles on TikTok? Like, no, man. Women don't seem to understand that this is something that men did in exchange, men did this, and this was a privilege that modern women enjoyed. Now, they no longer get the chivalry, they no longer get the romance or the thing that they most care about, really, which is being provided for. And so, of course, we end up with these TikToks of these women crying on TikTok. Oh, men don't provide for me anymore. What happened to men paying the bills? What happened to women being pleasant to be around and actually being peaceful men?
Marry a woman and pay bills in the household. Who told you that? Like, was it your mom? Was it the pick me that had you? it. Like, you're literally a man. Like, I'm sorry. Some of you just need to go out and find you a husband, baby, because you don't want a wife. You want the soft life.
Yes. So there's the shaming language, okay? You don't provide for me. You don't provide for a woman. How dare you? Number one, you're not a real man, okay? Because you know what makes a real man, guys? Apparently, giving his resources to women, paying a woman's bills. That's interesting. You know, every single time these women, they go out here and they give a definition. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but every single time they give a definition as to what constitutes a real man or a good man, it's always some self-serving definition. Okay, it has nothing to do with like, oh, the man has good qualities, you know, he has great morals and so on. He's disciplined. You know, it's all about what kind of resources is the man willing to give up for the woman, and if he doesn't, then he's not a real man. And then of course she starts going on about how we should date other dudes, right? These so-called tolerant and inclusive people are the first ones, obviously, to leverage someone's sexual proclivity against another as an insult. I always find that interesting, man. You know, the women who are so kind and empathetic and so on, they're the first ones to insult people by using their personal bedroom preferences, as it were. Let's continue into the next clip here. I don't even know what this one is, but she's already throwing up gang signs, it seems. So this will be a great one, guys. You know, holy hell! Like the fact, you know what gets me about these clips, man? The fact that they just never run out. Like these women, they wake up every morning and they're like, you know what I'm gonna do today, Becky? I'm gonna let TikTok know exactly how I feel about men. And Becky's just sitting there like, yeah, you go, queen. Or at least that's what I imagine in my head. It's a train wreck, man. Let's continue into this next one here. This doesn't look good, does it?
I flew on a one-way flight to Europe for this guy. I'd known him for like 10 days. We had this whirlwind romance, met him at the farmer's market. It was a vibe.
I'm done, man. I'm so done. What are we, like 2 seconds into this video clip? Okay, so let's wind it back. Immediately, we meet a man, and within 10 days, we are flying out to meet him. It was a whirlwind romance. And she met this dude at a farmer's market. You guys see how easy women make it for men who they find attractive, by the way. Within 10 days, she doesn't even know this dude. And she's out here flying to, you know, Lord knows where. But don't worry, guys. You have to get her flowers and pay her bills if you want a shot with this exact same woman, right? And if you don't, you're not a real man. Hilarious.
Him for like 10 days. We had this whirlwind romance, met him at the farmer's market. It was a vibe. I get to Europe. I'm not in the city he's in yet, but I'm in Barcelona. I'm going to Berlin. He lives in Berlin. I've been invited to live in Berlin with him for the summer, and I'm all, you know. So I'm in Barcelona. The night before my flight, he FaceTimes me. Hey, so.
And there's another woman.
I met someone else.
What did I just say? Yep. Yeah, sorry, your position's been filled by a woman who's less annoying and who doesn't have a TikTok account. This is the funniest crap to me, guys, is women, they think they get their meal ticket, you know? Oh, this guy's gonna let me live with him. He's got money. He's flying me out. And then they realize 2 seconds later, they're like, wait a minute. This man has options. He doesn't want me. I don't understand. What went wrong? These women have zero leverage over these dudes, by the way. Absolutely zero.
Don't come to Berlin. So I hung up the phone. I'm sitting in my friend's room. The sun is setting over Barcelona. I am just like, wow, I'm in Europe alone. I have no plans. I have nowhere to be. Wow, like what awaits me? Adventure time. I was stoked. I think a lot of people with a different perspective would have been heartbroken, but I was just like, hey man, if it was meant to be, it would have been meant to be, but you found another girl and she's probably amazing. So good for you, and I'll figure my life out, you know?
Yeah, so this woman is coping. I don't think she was particularly happy about this news, if I'm honest with you guys. We all know modern women absolutely hate when this happens to them, right? It's all very well and good for them to treat men like options. I mean, I don't know how old this woman is. I'm quite bad at guessing ages, you know, pushing 40, I would assume, if not 40. I don't really know. You know, the makeup, the whatever. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm terrible at guessing these women's ages, guys. Like some of them look like 80 and 50 simultaneously. You know what I mean? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So imagine this woman at this particular age, okay? Imagine how many dudes she has to reject and ignore and ghost and leave on red in order to arrive at this kind of age and still be single. You know, like, let's just do the math on it. It has to be a lot. Like, this woman's clearly insufferable, but when has that ever stopped women from actually getting a ridiculous amount of options anyway? You know, it's like, this woman says that she's fine with it. Cool, you found another girl. I don't think she was happy with this decision whatsoever. She can put on a smiling face. Do I believe it? No, I don't.
But I was just like, hey man, if it was meant to be, it would have been meant to be, but you found another girl and she's probably amazing, so good for you, and I'll figure my life out, you know? So I get on the plane anyway the next day and I go to Berlin. I literally don't know where I'm gonna stay. Like, I figured this out. So I land, I take the train into town. I'm walking down the street and I bump into a guy from my high school who I didn't even know lived in Berlin. I couldn't even remember his name, but we were on the same cross-country team in high school.
This is all smelling a little bit fishy to me, guys, and I don't just mean the woman, okay? This is sounding a bit sketchy. So, first of all, I think she went into this city either A, knowing that this other dude was here, or B, in the hopes of eventually meeting up with the guy who wanted to fly her out there anyway. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is all, oh, I just randomly bumped into a dude that I met in high school. You know what? Even though I was not invited anymore to this guy's house, I still traveled to this city regardless. I don't believe this, guys. This woman is clinically insane, and there's too many little coincidences here for me to believe that this is normal behavior. So she bumps into the high school friend whose name she can't remember, but she remembers they're on the same track team. Yeah, okay, sure.
In Berlin. I couldn't even remember his name, but we were on the same cross-country team in high school. And it's like, hey, and he's like, I'm having a dinner party tonight. You should come. So I go to this dinner party. I mean, we're talking like Berlin, DJs, chefs, artists, like, it's a vibe. At the dinner party, another girl from my high school and a girl from my childhood, which was in a completely different place than my high school. So I'm at this party, reconnecting with all these people. I turned to the girl from my high school and I was just like, hey, I'm in Berlin. I have no idea what's going on. She's like, hey, I'm going out of town for the month. Why don't you stay at my place? She lives in a studio. She gave me the keys to her apartment. I had a free month in Berlin with her bicycle, her kitchen, everything.
Holy hell, this woman's insane. So she probably, first of all, I don't even know whether or not this party happened. Like, the stories like this, man, you can never really believe what the women say. Let's just assume that it's true, okay? Which is, I'm just gonna, whenever I see videos like this and things just don't make sense to me, nothing's adding up, we'll just assume that it's true, all right? So what I think actually happened was she probably went to this party and was just like, hey, I need somewhere to live, and mentioned this to everybody. And then one of them said, you know what, you can stay at my place, because this woman, despite being uninvited to this dude's house, decides to screw over her life, probably financially as well, to come to this city. You already know, by the way, that these women are not exactly financially responsible. I can guarantee you that right now. Like, these women who are this damn impulsive, right, who just travel to cities regardless and just make up decisions by a whim and so on, a lot of these women are not financially responsible in any capacity whatsoever. So, you know, she's out there, she's hunting for her rich man, and her journey has gotten her this far so far.
Her kitchen, everything. And after that month, like, doors started opening. I met back up with the guy, met the new girl. She was a vibe. I totally understood. Not that I wasn't also a vibe, because I was, but, you know.
Can we stop saying vibe? Like, my goodness. My goodness. So she goes and has bedroom fun with the dude regardless. Hell, maybe even the woman, right, at the same time. I mean, the adventures, quote unquote, that these women get up to, guys, this is exactly why you can't wife them up or make them into your girlfriend. Like, imagine the poor simp, okay, that gets with this woman after the fact. She's been flown out to different places. You know, she's going to Berlin. She's meeting up with this dude. She's meeting up with this woman. She's still going to parties. I mean, Guys, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I went to a few parties, right? My friends would drag me out. Not all that great, I'll be honest. I just kind of, I can gather very little interest for this kind of crap. You know, oh, want to go out drinking? Nope. Want to go to parties? Nope. You know, and it's like, what are these women doing, man? She's probably in her 40s or something, and she's still out here partying and traveling to meet up with dudes. And like, I'm not saying that I'm the most responsible person to walk the face of the planet, okay? But what are these women actually doing with their lives? I don't know. Like, what are they doing? It seems to me like what they're actually doing, if I were to answer that question, is they're just hunting for rich dudes who will take them in even after all of the dumb decisions that they have made throughout their lives, you know? Oops, $75,000 in student debt. Don't worry, I'll just find a man. Oops, I've been with 47 different dudes. Don't worry, I'll still find a man. You know, and they just do whatever they can. Their whole life plan is to find a dude who will look after them.
Not that I wasn't also a vibe, because I was, but, you know. Anyway, the amount of synchronicities and just like incredible opportunities that opened to me because I was like trusting in the flow. I mean, you cannot make that stuff up. Literally the day that I got there, I fell into a party with really cool people who like supported me. I ended up staying in Berlin for 6 months. Like, it was one of the coolest chapters of my life. So if a guy invites you on a one-way ticket to go live with him, go.
Yeah, so I don't really believe what this woman is saying. I think she's pissed that she got traded out with the other woman. And she's trying to paint it off like it was this great big adventure thing. But I don't think she was happy with this whatsoever. Oftentimes what these women do is they will make some really stupid life decisions, and then they'll go on TikTok and they'll try and rationalize them and make up some elaborate sort of story that makes them seem a lot more valuable than they actually are. That's usually what happens. There's probably elements of truth to that story, like probably getting traded out for another woman. But how much of it is true, you can never really know. Let's continue into the next clip here from a modern day philosopher, aka a modern woman on TikTok. I think a lot of men are failing to understand that women don't want boyfriends. All right, let's take a listen. You see, guys, this is like, I have in front of me right now, as I record these videos, I have a massive cup of coffee just to get through this garbage. Like, my cup, I kid you not, is probably as big as this one currently. And you know what? We are getting through it. We are powering on. Let's take a listen.
A lot of men are failing to understand that women don't want boyfriends.
No, I think a lot of women are failing to understand that we don't care what you want, but carry on.
If I wanted a boyfriend, I could go out onto the street right now and come back with 5. Ooh. Finding a boyfriend is not hard. Finding a partner, completely different story. And I think the problem is, women are allowed to have bank accounts and credit cards and go to school and have careers and choose if and when we reproduce. So we are no longer shackled by raising children.
Okay, let me just stop you right there, madam. If you want to go out, you want to open your own bank account, you want to be a big girl, go out there and get a job because you're strong and independent. You don't want the shackles of having a family, you know, having children. That's totally fine. Nobody cares what you do. You know, you are a modern liberated woman. You have liberated yourself from these relationships. You don't have to have them. In fact, I would think it's probably better if this woman doesn't go out there and have a family, to be honest with you. I don't know. There's probably dudes watching this video right now, and they could not give less of a damn what these women choose to do with their lives. But carry on.
And when we reproduce, so we are no longer shackled by raising children. Our lives have gone exponentially better in the last 100 years. Mm-hmm. How have men progressed?
I'm chilling.
It used to be that they brought money to the table, they provided for the family, they did all of these things. I have my own money. What can you give me now? Women want partners. We want people that are going to come into our lives, not only meet us where we're at, but push us to be better.
Okay, no thank you. So I love how during this video, by the way, she actually outlines what women are looking for in terms of these long-term relationships. You ready for it, guys? Money. That's what it is. I've said this before, but as women push closer and closer to 30, you know, they start dating more and more for money, more and more for resources. So this woman's like, hey, You know, if you're a dude and you bring no money to the relationship, what are you bringing? And I'm like, what a fantastic way to out yourself as a woman, by the way. Like, this is the only thing that we're looking for in a relationship? I mean, guys, don't listen to me. This is straight out of the horse's mouth, as it were. Oh, women don't care about money, guys. They care about personality and how nice you are, and so on and so forth. Now, women care to varying degrees about resources, but let's not get it confused here, okay? Women are looking to be provided for, especially if they're looking to have a relationship on a long-term basis. But I just love how this woman just outs women. You know, she's like, hey, if you don't bring money, then I don't really care. And the dudes are like, you know what? Not really interested. Anyway, I love how she asks, by the way, how men are doing. Absolutely fine, because they're no longer providing for women like you. Let's continue into the next clip here. Holy hell, these clips are endless, are they not? I don't even know what's going on in this one. Let's just jump right in. We'll think about it later.
Now that I've opened up this can of worms of never being in a relationship, I'm going to continue talking about my thoughts. Since I've realised I'm not the only one who's never had a boyfriend, which is kind of mad to me, I just want to express my fear of being single forever. Without sounding dramatic, it haunts me. Like, it's at least a weekly thought. I'll hit my head on the pillow and the realisation hits me, and I'll just think, is this it for the rest of my life? And this fear makes me ask myself, what am I doing wrong? My friends tell me I need to learn my standards, my parents tell me I need to choose wisely, my For You page tells me I need to stop using my masculine energy, my brain tells me I need my own space, and my heart tells me I need love that's not just self-love. So
okay, so this woman is single still. She's alone. She's scared. Okay, she hasn't had a boyfriend in I don't know how many years. I don't know what age this woman is. I'm assuming like over 30, if not pushing 30. But she's never had a boyfriend, guys. You know what this means, by the way? I think we all know the translation of I've never had a boyfriend. And what it actually means is I've had lots of casual bedroom fun, or at least I've had a good amount of it, but I've failed to secure commitment after the bedroom fun. You know, and she says that she's not alone, and I agree. This is something that a lot of modern women struggle with. In fact, this is probably their biggest problem when they're trying to date, is that they can get, you know, bedroom fun out of a man, but trying to get a committed relationship out of a man, particularly the ones that they want, is a very, very different question. So this woman has been, you know, no boyfriend, perpetually single, she's scared, and so on. Also, I don't really believe her when she says that her friends are telling her to lower her standards. Usually the friends give terrible advice and tell them to up the standards, so that's interesting.
my brain tells me I need my own space, and my heart tells me I need love that's not just self-love. So what does a girl do? And there's also this fear that time is running out, because the longer I'm single, the more I'm learning about myself and my boundaries, which means the bigger I'm becoming. But then I guess that leaves the pool of men tiny. Oh gosh, and you know what's even worse? When I finally like a guy in the small pool, I like him. Like, I become low-key obsessed, so I finally let my walls down, and the same thing happens every time.
I swear these women actually... So she's talking about how she gets ghosted here. These women do the same thing every time. I could genuinely, guys, I could sit here and I could write a script. Like, they're all on the exact same script. They use the same language. They go through the same cycle in life. Okay? So this woman, she says here, they ghost me. Happens every single time. You know, the one man I'm finally interested in, he ghosts me. Yeah, that's the way it is. You choose one of the top percentage guys, one of the dudes who has all of the options, and he ghosts you because he doesn't need to have a relationship with you, nor does he have the desire to. But she'll become obsessed with him, won't she, guys? And notice how she says, as the years go on, her standards get higher and higher. The things that she expects from men, they increase more and more. Now, you know, oh, I've got new boundaries now. I've got new things that I expect. So what happens is, as women go out here and get ghosted by Chad every single time, the next time they're like, you know what? The next man actually has to do this and that for me. And they only ever apply these rules to the men that they don't find highly attractive. The men that they find highly attractive, they will still go out there, smash, and get ghosted by. It's hilarious how women will simultaneously raise the standards for men that they're not attracted to, but keep them nice and low for the men that they are attracted to. Hilarious, man.
Happens every time they ghost me. And I don't know why I'm admitting this to the whole world. Fuck, why'd I do this? Anyway, back to the question. What am I doing wrong? Because I've tried playing games and that doesn't work. I'm being myself and that definitely doesn't work. I'm even forcing myself to go on dates with guys I don't even like that much just to see if it's a slow burner, and that doesn't work. So it leads me to question, is the problem causing the problem? Like,
So now what is she doing, guys? She's going on dates with men that she's not interested in whatsoever. Hilarious. So we are too addicted to Chad by this point, okay? We've already got a taste of the men who are highly attractive. We've hooked up with them. And you see, now the problem for this woman is she can't go back. She can't go back to, you know, the average everyday working Joe. She can't go back to that guy making 50K a year. She can't go back to that guy who's less attractive or not as tall, because she's already hooked up with a bunch of bad boys. Now, what she's going to do is she will still go on dates with these men, okay, despite the fact that she has no interest in them, and then lead them on, try and get them to provide things to her, and so on, all in the hopes that she feels something. Meanwhile, she's still going out there and smashing those dudes that she's actually attracted to. Right? Women collect these dudes. By the way, I just want you to know this. Every time these women do this, the odds of them actually keeping these men around for a hookup in the future are incredibly high. What happens is girls will go out here and do this, and these men that they hook up with will become like an Instagram follower that will, you know, she'll reply to his story one day when she feels lonely. Like, women go out here and they actively collect these men while they're dating. And you think, oh, I found a good one. Let me just get into a relationship with her. And you don't even know that there's, like, you know, a whole bunch of dudes in her Instagram following, right, that follow her, that have already had their bedroom fun with her, and who still have an active line of communication to her. It's absolutely crazy. Like, yeah, no thank you. Not wifing this up. No chivalry for that. I'm sorry.
It's a slow burner and that doesn't work. So it leads me to question, is the problem causing the problem? Like, is the fact I've never had a boyfriend now seen as a red flag to guys? So now they're not even considering me? Because I get it. Like, it makes them wonder what's wrong with her. And then I obviously don't get a chance to prove that there actually isn't anything wrong with me. Like, I'm a cat. Well, this whole thing is, to be honest, it's a catch-22. Having standards, but being too picky, being myself, but giving too much away, dating to marry, but feeling comfortable being single. Someone tell me how it's done.
Oh my goodness. These women are a complete train wreck, guys. Complete train wreck. So here's the thing. Men are not turned off by the fact that you've never had a boyfriend. What men are turned off by is the fact that they know, first of all, they know you haven't been celibate this entire time. Like, this woman says that she has never had a boyfriend, but she's been ghosted by many dudes. So, you know, like, if you're a woman and you've never had a boyfriend, you've never hooked up with a whole bunch of guys, this is probably actually a selling point to a lot of guys. They're more likely to be interested in you. The problem is these women are leaving out the part where they've got smashed and dashed by a whole bunch of different random men. They're leaving that part out of the equation, so that repulses men. Second of all, the average man is typically completely invisible to her. She can't even force herself to feel anything for these dudes. And the list just goes on and on, guys. These women are just absolute train wrecks. It's horrible. We are going to be leaving today's episode there, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.